Good morning, everybody. We are back and we are live. Oh, wait, no. Are we live? Let's see. We are live. Awesome. Thank you for coming. I'm just going to disable my Skype notifications just because I want to, you don't hear all the whoop, whoop. Give me 1 second. I should have prepped this beforehand, but I forgot. Okay. So, first of all, thank you for coming. I don't see many people here yet, but that's okay. One thing, so today our Recode preview or our live stream is all about stores and that fun stuff. The past little bit, so our last Recode preview or live stream was all about this as well, kind of the initial steps. I want to kind of show you guys where we've started from and now where we are, and hopefully get through a fair bit more. Please note, this will also likely be the Recode preview for this month, so you get a bunch of spoilers. But I think it's worth it because this stuff's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do now is just open up the website, my local version, and just kind of show you around. So I have the option to create a store, but before I do that, let's actually go and visit a store. The store being the raffle store. Awesome. So nothing stocked yet. That is not a problem. So I've written some custom components that basically allow me to basically restock with just running a command line option. So I have to just look for store restock, and then my NPC, which is raffle. So basically saying, hey, I want to restock the raffle store, which in itself is powerful because it'll allow me to kind of get a bit more flexibility. So just a kind of prerequisite to this, there's different, or every store that we have on IcePets version 2 will essentially be very similar to a user store. Look and feel, we can customize it as we want, but at the end of the day, they all act the same, so why not? So right now I'm just finishing restocking, so this will basically put 99 of every item into the raffle store, because the raffle store doesn't actually have any stock. We just want to make sure that it's always topped up for any users that want to buy. So this shouldn't take too much longer. Let's just refresh here and we'll see how far it got so far. Still running. Sorry about the delay. So let's just do a quick check in here. So I do see a lot of stuff being restocked. This one does take a while for the first bit, and I'm also kind of scripting a lot of our database objects, so please bear with it. There we go, so that guy's done. And I will also start this preview with saying I might need to step out temporarily because I'm expecting a phone call. I hope it's not anywhere between 10 and 12, but I can't say for sure. So you can see here is the store. The raffle store is similar to what we have right now, but it's a little prettier, and we have a few different features. So the thing that we've kind of always shown, the hover over the item, you now see all the description, rarity, and all that fun stuff about the item. I can now, instead of just, okay, where's that? Where's the item? Where's the item? Kind of doing a hunt for it, we can actually search. So if I want to search for a raffle, there we go. So here's all the ones that have raffle or ticket. And it will allow me to basically do that. So before I get any further, I'm going to cheat a little. I'm just going to give myself 1,000 raffle points. So let me just refresh. I have 1,000 raffle points to spend. Why? There we go. So you currently have 1,000 raffle points to spend, and I can see that everything is now activated. So all the costs are there. So let's say I want to buy the miscellaneous. Pops up. Yes, I want to purchase it. Awesome. So now I only have 750. Cool. So that automatically boils, or kind of comes down to let us know how much more we have. Well, you don't just keep spending your own money. So we'll just go over to my inventory for a second while we are here. Say, hey, look, discounted ticket is now available here. Cool. So if I actually go back to raffle, I should be able to exchange some of these tickets. Good. So I use a discounted ticket, and there's an error, but that's okay because that's not what we're talking about today. Today is all about raffle store, or stores in general. So I'm able to buy items now. Here is the raffle store, or sorry, the store kind of modification section. This is where you'll be able to get information about kind of your actual store, kind of what your current till is, so how many items you sold or how much money you have waiting for you to pick up, how many views, the total sales, and kind of a bit more information about, okay, here's your available stock, how many do we have, how many more slots do I have available, how many of your items are actually unpriced in your stock, and what's the maximum capacity. Appearance, this guy here just allows us to specify everything from the NPC, or the kind of preview page, the shopkeeper that we'll have, the shopkeeper's name, messages, and the description. Stock. This is where some of the cool stuff happens. We basically, everything is done on the fly, and as you can see, here is the, this is a pricing page. So I'm able to say, okay, here this is of price 120 raffle credits in this case. And if I change this, we're able to kind of go through and say, yep, there we go, save the price, and that's it. And the discount ticket, I can see as a log. And as you kind of see up top, both of these allow me to search. So if I start searching for food, it doesn't actually exist. Or I want to search for a raffle. Awesome. Now I see only items I have stocked that are named raffle. Which is kind of neat because now it'll allow you to restock a little easier. I'm going to leave the auto pricing for the actual Recode preview because that's really cool and I want everyone to see it at the same time. So anyways, for the live stream, today we are going to start with this kind of new concept that we've added, which was made specifically for the non-playable character shops. So the raffle points, the raffle store, grooming parlor, all those places. We have the ability to basically automatically set prices based on a pre-configured value. So basically as soon as you add an item to the store, it'll say, okay, this store's item cost is X. I've already coded that piece, but we don't have any UI for it. So we're going to start by just going through that, and then as soon as we do that, I think I'm going to want to go through the shop search area because as much as this is cool, being able to search other people's shops for it is even better. So let's start. So what I'm going to do is go to index.php. In here, I'm going to add in another tab, which will say that this is the auto store auto labeler. Store auto. I really wish I can spell today, but apparently I cannot. There we go. So store auto labeler, and just for now, because I'm going to be lazy and actively kind of switching between, I'm going to make this guy enabled by default. Scope view partials dot store or auto labeler. Let's just move store because obviously everything is store. So I'm going to go to my view, actually partials, information. I'm just going to make it so this guy doesn't default to being kind of the active page. Now let's go resource, store view default, user market, store, edit, partials, here we go. So this one here is now called auto labeler. PHP. Labeler. So here we go. Go here, and awesome. Panel auto labeler. Of course, I forgot to add in resource to actually tell it what it is. English. Market, edit, panel, return this. So this is basically what you've seen in the other ones, where I just store all the resources kind of in a central location, so that if we choose to allow for another language, then all I need to do is basically add in these resources and the site will be translated. Or if we want to change names, not a problem. Okay, so we're on this tab. So what we need to do first is just go through the, let's start by, oops, there we go. So what do we want to look like? So first of all, I want to just make sure that the user is able to actually auto-label before even showing any of this. So what I need to do is if, oops, can auto-label and then store. This is basically saying, is the user allowed to auto-label items? Actually, you know what? Let's not put that there, because what we can do is say, kind of in the other area over here, can, let me just copy this, I can auto-label, else, so either way I want this tab. Why are we going to do it like this? This actually says, basically saying, okay, do you want to be able to auto-label your prices too? Obviously, I'm not going to keep it here, but yay, you can auto-label. Because if I put it in this area, then I'll have to come back and change it if we were to add in extra languages, which I obviously don't want to do. Let's just see what happens. Absolutely nothing shows up. Awesome. Because this guy is not active. There we go. So, do you want to be able to auto-label too? Okay. Interesting. So, let's just go policy/store. Policies are basically the ability to, or it allows me to centralize all the logic for specific business rules in a specific spot. So whether or not a user can auto price with the auto pricer upgrade, if they're able to auto label, even update a store, because I'm not going to want a random user to update someone else's store, so I need to put some logic in there. So that's what this guy is doing. So this is actually going to running as a different user, so that's not necessarily going to be proper. So let me just do store. Sorry, this update user store. So make sure that the user is able to update, and the store. So right now, I'm going to do it kind of at the store, or restrict it to admin account. The admin account and store at user number equals 0. So only able to auto label. So only allow people who can edit the store, and if the store is owned by the user with number 0, which is the IcePets admin account. So let's just do a quick check, and that did not work. Why didn't that work? So my user, because I'm being silly. Gate allows update of store. So gate is kind of another built-in thing, and it allows service provider. So basically, I've coded in a God mode so that basically admins do have access to change some extra stuff that we wouldn't necessarily want anyone else to. So that's what this does. So basically gate, so check to make sure that the gate allows you to modify the store, and the store number is that. So let's see if this works. There we go. Yay, I can auto label. So now in this page, what we really need is, I'm just seeing who else is here. Oh wow, we have a lot of people today. Hello everyone. So if I can auto label table SML. I believe that's the class. Let me just double check. Sales history. Oops, this is the one I want. So, head. So let's just add in kind of the header. What do I want to show? I want to show the item name. What else? So I want to show the item name, the current price, or yeah, basically the price, the ability to update price, and save. So if I do that, let's see what we see. So there we go. Now, just for sanity's sake, let me just go over to our auto labeler table. Yes, I wanted tan. So I want to have name, item name, price. I should call this one current price. Let me do that. Update price. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the channel. I do have it up on my other screen, and I am more than willing to answer any questions. So I'm just going through this quickly. So in Laravel, or I've kind of gone through this a few times, I've added my own kind of helper functions that allow me to reduce the amount of text I need to type for each of the kind of scoped stuff. So if I have, so I basically have this helper function text. So I'm just going to take in my auto labeler, and then I want this one to be table.name. And let's just grab this. Actually, this. Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. So current price, update price. Action. So let's just take a quick peek. And once it's done, awesome. So one thing I wanted to actually kind of point out, which I find really neat. So when I was actually, because lots of the stuff for stores are dynamic and kind of come in after the fact, it made testing, or while I was developing, a lot harder. And it's kind of nice because I actually have test cases now that made it so that I was able to actually test the changes as I was going. So I would basically tell it, okay, I'm expecting to do, or let's just go my store test. So basically I'm testing out, okay, what happens when I create a store? What do I need to kind of set up to have a store, to add things to the store, things like that. And I have it actually set up to automatically run as soon as I commit to our repository, which, as you can see here, I actually did a really bad thing the last time, or as I was just building some stuff. Before I checked in, I was supposed to check my unit test to see if everything was working properly. And so I do that test, and here it failed, which is kind of embarrassing. So now, this is actually because I had just finished seeding kind of all of the non-playable character stores. The NPC stores. So the beauty, not the Beauty King, but the the beauty parlor and all those places. And I forgot to kind of import it, and that's what this script is actually doing right here. And actually, before I kind of go more in depth, I want to just quickly show you. So with this Recode, one of the things that we really want to focus on, and I think you guys are going to agree, that maintaining everything that you've already done on the site. We don't want you to lose anything when we move to the new version because, well, we're just moving. But the data, kind of the database kind of core structure behind it has completely changed. I'm reworking how items work, how absolutely every piece of the application or the game works. So in doing that, I can't just essentially take a backup of the database that we have right now and apply it and kind of use that. So what I do instead is I actually make these scripting tasks or scripts that I actually generate based off of a backup of our database. And it basically just goes through, okay, let's create all of the different item types. So it actually goes through and says, okay, go up all the classifications that we have with some stuff that we'll need later on. And this is making it in a way that I'm actually able to use it in the recoded version. And then what we do is we basically say, okay, here's all the information. And I literally just script and kind of copy and paste the data in that way. And that is what this guy is running right now. So it's actually adding in all of our friends. So it's making a script of that. And every time I commit to our repository, I automatically basically pull whatever I have, kind of that latest set of scripted data, and I say, okay, let's try to run the build. And this is what happened. Because it didn't have the NPC list, I'm not able to actually script it, so it failed. And with kind of those, it helps me to just make sure that the site's in a healthy state, which in this state right now, it is not. But anyways, so that's kind of fun backstory that you may or may not have ever wanted to know, but I think for me, for for me, looking from the outside, if I was another developer, kind of trying to figure out, well, how do I migrate this? Like, the databases are completely different. There's no easy way. It's either you write specific SQL, that is the language to kind of get data from the database, or I just write some code that allows it to insert itself in the ways that we expect it to run. And so that's kind of what I've done. And with these tests, it basically just tests kind of all areas of the code. So basically, I'm able to say, okay, I create some items for a store or for a user, transfer them into your store, price them, and things like that, which is really cool and really exciting. So let's just see what we've changed so far. So I've added these in. What's changed here? Okay. I'm actually going to just commit fixing a broken integration test. So what else do we have here? So I'm not going to want to check that one in. I'm not, this is adding in that extra tab, so I will want that. Policy, so I will want to check that in at one point in time. Okay, so anyways, back to business. The auto labeling section. So, T-body. Basically, this is now where all the items will, excuse me, come in. So, what I'm actually going to do is similar to your store area, where I have our stock. Oops, that is the wrong file. Our stock. I'm going to do the exact same thing. So, right here. So basically we loop through a bunch of filtered items to get the data. So let's do that. Let's set all this up. So first, sorry, I do this. I'm just going to copy and paste because, you know what, I don't really need to do anything special. So this call span, so this was because we have the auto pricing, and it does, as I said, we did change how it works to make it, I think, a little more usable. I know a lot of people have said that they didn't like the fact that it would kind of auto price for you, and sometimes it seems too low, sometimes too high, things like that. Well, we've kind of tweaked it so that it's no longer that annoying. It gives you more of an opportunity to figure it out. So anyways, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by coding in this stuff. So it is a stock item. So this, I'm actually going to template ID equals, so this is actually going to be an auto label item. Template. This item will consist of, it'll basically be three rows, or 3 columns. One which is your item actually on stock. What we actually do, we show the actual item. So let's just grab that. Because why not? Because that's kind of cool. Being able to actually hover over the item in here, say, oh, what was this about again? Oh, cool. So if you remember pictures versus names, then we will get to that. I just read the message. Maybe we will talk about, or I don't want to go into details about that because I want to keep that for the Recode preview that will be on the 21st. It's going to be cool. I think you guys will like it. But I want to have a little bit of mysteriousness until then. So here, okay, good, we have none. I know it doesn't necessarily answer your question, but hopefully it answers it as much as I can without giving away too much for the 21st. So I want to center this guy. Oops, and this should not be a T. So the T head. TV. Okay, so none, centered. Awesome. Okay, so now I have all this. Where are we? So item name, item count. Sorry, I don't need item count here. What am I doing? So this is going to be the item at price. So whatever the current price is. Now, you know what? No, I don't want 2 columns for that because it doesn't really make sense. Because what we're going to do is we're actually going to show this with type equals number. Value equals, sorry, no, name equals, let's see, what do I do here? Let's grab this. So this is basically going to say, okay, what's the current item's price? And kind of display it in a number field in a way that's similar to right over here on the stock page. If my computer decides to respond. So stock, there we go. So basically it says, hey, right here. Allow you to kind of do the drop down list, or the drop numbers to do this. So labeler, please give me 1 sec, I hear a phone ringing. I will be, sorry about that. I might have another call coming soon, but we had a little accident with our dishwasher last night. Came home and it was leaking water. So just trying to get hold of the repairman. Anyways, so that's where, if I have to run away, that's what it's about. Anyways, so where were we? Table, and now let's just add in a, no, I don't even need an action thing, because if I do this and that, I can also add in this. So it's the exact same process as you would if you go through the actual kind of stock page, so it's the same look and feel. There we go. So current price, none. Well, that's not useful. So if I go here, because there's nothing apparently stocked. That's because I haven't actually grabbed any data yet, but that's kind of beside the point. So let's just grab this. This is basically saying, okay, let's add in more JavaScript files. As you might have guessed by now, the site is going to be very JavaScript intensive because it allows me to do a lot of neat things with it. And I think you guys will enjoy it as much as I enjoy doing that stuff. Market, store, edit, new file, use strict. So this one will be called autolabeler.js. So what we want this guy to do is basically say, it'll give me two things. View.component. I'm using a tool called Vue.js, which allows for things like two-way data binding, which if you don't know what that is, that's okay. But it kind of allows for things that we kind of see up front here. So you see how I have the 750 items? Well, as soon as I buy something, or 750, right away it automatically updates with me doing barely any work. So that allows me to do it kind of makes it so I have less work to do versus other stuff. So I can focus on the core things versus the not so fun things. So we have an auto label item which has a template of so this looks for an ID. So what we are going to do is that now in the sales log, I'm just going to copy what this guy does because this is essentially what I need to do. So what it's going to do is it's going to say grab the URL from, let's do this that URL, oh sorry, let's grab this one from our store stock. Where do I actually set these values? Where is it? Sorry about this. Let's just look at stock.bleed.php for a sec, just so I can remind myself. Oh, okay. So because I do that as a component, it's basically saying grabbing those and loading them automatically. Right, which is what I should be doing over here. And I'm being silly sometimes. So what I actually need to do is make this section right here into its own component. Excuse me. Auto label. This will allow me to do a few cool things. Equals auto label. So just paste this. Okay. So blah blah blah. So let's. So in this guy here, I want your. So your retrieve equals store at auto label URL. Or what else? Presenter store. Auto label retrieval URL. There we go. And now what we will do here is basically say public function auto. Oh, 1 second. Phone's ringing again. And we're back. Sorry about that. Hopefully that's the last call. I will probably get at least one more, but yeah. So auto label. So this is going to return this at root. user.market.user.store.ajax.auto label. Sorry about that. This kind of sucks, but I may need to cut it short because I was just told that the repairman will come within the next half an hour. Which sucks. But we will get as far as we can. get unique name. So auto label retrieval. So then now you want to go root store.php. So in here I basically say I want another page, which will be a get of auto label. And this is going to hit style controller get auto label. And once I do that, and I will access this through auto label. Okay, so now if I just go here, root list grep auto label, this basically allows me to just search through a very long list of URLs, which I would not really easily be able to search through for a specific item. And then what we will do is say, okay, so I have that all mapped together. So if I go my stock controller, get sales log, public, function, get, what do I call it? I called it get auto label. And this will have its own request. So in here, I will auto label request because this has specific rules I need to apply. If I go here and I basically say make request, basically other than make request of auto label request. This will put in a lot of boilerplate. There we go. So authorize now, similar to the auto price request, which I don't have because that actually comes from the other thing. So let's sales log request instead. Sales log request. Okay. And just basically say, are they able to, do they allow auto labeling? And I need to use gate. Use gate. Awesome. Basically all I'm saying is, is the user allowed to actually access them? They are, so let's go for it. So now in my stock controller, all this guy is going to do is just going to basically say, grab, so first, have what I have up top. Look up the store. Now if we go model/store for a second, and I go public function auto label, turn this has many. Oh, I already coded that. Go me. So grab all of the store or items with that have auto labels. Items equals so this is just label with item. If I do that, let's see what happens when I just do that. So now, if I go over to my auto labeler, okay, that's cool. It has the right URL. So let me configure that object, which is right here, auto label, view.component. This is yet again making, let's close that, making the component here, which is our auto label. Template is right here. And basically saying, because that's not the right place, that's actually for each item. So this guy here will be, so I need properties. And the only property that I actually need is this retrieve, which is of type string and required true, which basically says I need to get a copy of this, otherwise you don't know what you're going to do. And then basically say this at retrieve, and then I also need to set some data. I need a comma here, function. So how many of you are completely confused about what I'm doing right now? Put up your hand. So this is going to be items. How many of you have already fallen asleep? Apparently everyone's fallen asleep. Awesome. So I have my items. Here goes data. So let's actually see what happens. So I'm going to just open up the inspector and refresh. Because I've changed. As you can see, I have a few JavaScript files that I generate. And there's a warning. What did I mess up? But first of all, before I even get there, it did not get anything. Did I forget to include the JavaScript file? Oh, store auto labeler. Silly me. Forgot to tell it to include the JavaScript file. So let's see. No, still nothing. What did I miss? Excuse me. Let's go scripts. So it didn't actually fire the request, so that tells me that unknown custom element auto label. Did I declare it properly? Very good question. Did I declare it properly? So I have my auto label up here, and I go auto labeler. Oh, that's just embarrassing. Helps if I include the right JavaScript file. Okay, so now let's search for this. Hey, look at that. Now it's found it. Awesome. So let's see what we actually get in here. just set a breakpoint so that I'm able to kind of stop it and kind of see what's going on. Items that data. Oh, there's an issue. Let me just refresh. So, I've been asked to kind of simplify some of the jargon, which that will be, that ask makes sense. Let's see. Oh, I know what went wrong. So a request basically happens every time that we ask for new content from the server or from kind of the application. So let's just see. It's not grabbing this guy for whatever reason. So auto label request. Why isn't that picking it up? Let's just do this. Use auto label request. That was messing up. So data is still wrong. What am I actually getting? So ng app that, oh, interesting. So let's actually look at what the what's coming back. Or not, because apparently that didn't work. So let's just see. You know what? I'm curious now. What is this? Actually, I have an easy way of doing that. Alert this. Retrieve. This basically just says my current object. And basically show, I just want to see what the value is at, or where I'm actually posting the data to. Trying to get that information. Undefined. Awesome. So that tells me that I actually messed something up here. Because it's presenter / store. Auto label retrieval URL. Auto label retrieval URL. Okay. So let's just die and dump this. That will just kind of blow up the page. So that URL is right. What did I mess up now? Okay, so my retrieve is this. I'll labeler retrieve type string, and yet you're saying you're undefined. Why are you undefined? Auto label template. That is a very good question. So the URL is correct. Why isn't it binding? What if I swap the order of these two? Undefined. Let's step into that because that's interesting. Okay, so where are we? On the label. So you're saying I don't have anything. Well, let's see what we actually have. What is this? This is this table that did I spell it wrong? Retrieve, no? So my auto label, you're getting that. Why aren't you getting my props? You have no props. Okay, give me 1 second. Maybe I just do this. Because properties are, well, configured. I'm guessing that this might be the issue. Nope. There we go. Okay. So, that's good. Now I got internal server error, which I'd like to see. So it's saying that called a member from slug. It's not available on that because I did not include the right stuff. So if I go to my update request and get dependencies, my automated dependency injection, just grab this and plop that in. Store retrieval. Yeah. Auto labeler. Okay, so we have the right URL. Let's see what happens. I have the data. Excuse me. Oh, before I go any further, let's get rid of the annoying alert. And rerun. And now let's actually look for this again. And data. Ah, there you go. Now we actually see that's an array. Awesome. Now here's where the fun starts. Well, I have in my data, I have a bunch of user store items, and I have items. Awesome. So what I will do, so I'm going to close that because I don't need that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to basically say on here. So first define this has stock. So has stock methods returns this. There's a function return this items blank is greater than 0. Oops, sorry, that's a computed. Basically what I want to say is, do I have anything in this area? If I don't, then don't bother. Otherwise, right now let's just, I'm not going to put in the filtering, because that's actually fairly straightforward. I just want to see if it works. Awesome. It looks hideous, but it works. So, what we do now is sorry, let's just go back to stock.blade.php. So down here, I actually say, so I have here a stock item. So I actually have the table row in here as well. And let's do this item at item.slug. item dot item dot. Awesome. It looks hideous, but so obviously I screwed something up here. But it's getting there. So item dot name. I wonder if I can flatten that. Let's see. It doesn't look like it's actually mapping correctly. So for each item, I bind. Oh, because I'm silly. You guys probably caught this, didn't you? I didn't actually map this one. Item is of type object, and it's required. Silly me. Let's see. There you go. Now we can see that I have the item. Here. Let's actually bring it back to 3 because I will have the item picture, image, then the actual item name, and then I'll have the item. Just to make it a little cleaner. So you might be wondering what the difference is between these and these. Basically, these ones are compiled on the server, and basically Laravel, which is the framework that I'm using, actually kind of compiles them and changes it into PHP code. These ones here are used by Vue.js, which is, as I said, the tool I'm using to actually add a lot more, or to allow me to have the dynamic content. So there we go. Let's just go back to lang/auto labeler. So I don't need the update price anymore. This should just say price. Everything's items. So this is image item. There. So this will update. So it's basically saying, okay, here's the item in question, here's the name, here's the current price. Let's see. No, that's already wired in. Drats. Okay. So what we need to do now is on this, I have if changed, I show this. Awesome. So I can add a quick attribute. So if I go back to my stock item, where do I have my changed? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do in here, data function, return this and changed. False. What's cool, Janice? Ruth? Watches. So as soon as I load this, how do I set the default value? Oh, sorry, that is the dishwasher repairman. I'll try to continue on later. So sorry about the cutting it early. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for showing. I'm back. I don't know if anyone is actually still watching, but I'm going to continue. The guy is left and everything is fine for now. So where we left off, we have the auto labeler. And basically what we do here is I want to add in a little button saying, hey, you've modified this if it's not what it originally was. So what we're going to do is, let's see, I know I had a few little issues in the past about this, so how do I, oh, right, this is what I'll do. So what I will do is have, as soon as I, bugger, that's not going to work. Okay, so what we will do is add another data element, which is onto this guy, which is your original. So assume it started at 0. I'm sorry, yeah, 0. So now I do that. So this dot change equals that. What if we name that property? And basically I just do original type is numeric or number, required true, and basically what I can't do it as a property. That's not going to work because if I do it as a property, I won't be able to reset it. So what I need to do instead, actually yes I will. What am I saying? So that could work. Then this, if I just do that, this dot original. Now when I map this stuff on the blade, I basically say original. Sorry, 1 second. Most distracted live stream ever. Sorry about that. I promise to be better now, I think. Okay, so now let's just go back to where we were. So we have BF changed, show it, which is awesome. So now I just need to make sure that I set changed properly. So it defaults to false. If my item price changes, then I change it. And that might just do it. So let's hit save, refresh. Yeah, we've lost a lot of people. Oh, nope, that didn't do it. What did I do? So, let's see what's actually happening. Missing, missing, missing. I think I messed something up. If I keep getting all these warnings. So what am I missing? Because I didn't actually press or specify that as, oopsie, helps to specify the value and that price. There, it's not yelling at me now. Oh, wait, maybe it is. No, we're good now. It's changed, but it didn't do anything. But I did get a warning. Expected number got string. Yeah, that doesn't feel right to me. So I'm going to remove that. I'm going to return this down here for original. It's 0. Excuse me. So if, so I'm going to remove that because I don't like that at all. So with my original, okay. Now if this dot original Let's just make this an empty object. Undefined. Let's see if that works. Original equals this dot item dot price. So basically the first round through, it'll basically say, or the first change over price, it'll basically say, okay, was the original set? It wasn't set, so set it to whatever my, actually this should be old value. Parse int old value. Let's refresh. And what did I break? Oh, nothing. That still didn't work. So what's the issue now? Let's see what it's actually hitting. So if I go back here, search for this bad boy, boom. Excuse me. Oh, it's not actually hitting the watch. Well, that would cause an issue. We might model, yeah. Let's say that. Item.price. Why doesn't it like this? Okay, so what if let's see what happens when I add something to the ready. Does this get called? Let's see what gets called over here. So it does say hi, 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 hi. Okay, so it's getting there. IcePets dot, so let's go and notify.js. I want to call IcePets dot notify dot info. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so I got a bunch of everything. So I'm actually going to set a breakpoint there because I'm curious what's happening. So, oh, I'm being silly again. Oh, I know exactly what the issue is. That is not, so if I do this at item, see what we have here. I'm silly. Wait, that's not item.price. So if I did this, I should see each of the things coming through, which I do. So, with seeing those come through, that tells that Okay, so actually, each of those come through. So that means I can say this dot original equals this dot item dot price. Awesome. So that removes this logic. Now, why is it not hitting my watch? Or is it? Still not hitting my watch. Item dot price. Item. Let's see. Go back here. This dot item dot price. So if I do that, I get 5, which is what I expect. Why when I have my watch defined, there's absolutely nothing. Let's see. What happens if I copy a... So what if I do this? This dot... Oh. Info dot price equals this dot. This dot info equals item. This dot item. I'm kind of copying it internally to see what's going on. Then I watch on the internal one. Still nothing. Let's see what's going on. It's still not hitting info. Interesting. Why aren't you hitting info? Okay, so if I continue over this, boom, equals item. So then if I do that, I don't care about binding for everyone. Oh, shoot. Now it's not doing anything because I have it bound to the wrong thing. Info.price. Still nothing. You know what? I'm going to kind of take a pause on this one. I'm just going to kind of commit it all because I want to really get to the shop search. Starting to wire in the auto labeler. So shop search. One thing that has always kind of bothered me is the fact that when searching for shops on the regular site, it doesn't really allow me to search for shops to buy it right away. So if I search for Apple, I have this quick buy, but then I have to go here, purchase item, there we go. Now I have a search or thing and it doesn't really give me much. What I would love to be able to do is actually change that flow up a bit. So what I want to do is I want to be able to say, oh, buy. Kind of have the little buying pop-up window come and say, oh, okay, no problem, done. And having his window pop up, say, okay, you want to purchase? Not a problem. Done. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's go. I don't have a link for shop search yet, but that's okay. We can make it. So HTTP market. Just go here and copy this because it's a very long name. PHP artisan make controller slash search controller. Excuse me. So search controller right here. So what we have is a boilerplate. So what I want to do first is public function get index because it's our first page, and this will allow me to do everything. So let's just go root store.php. So now this will store, and let's go root group, kind of grouping them all together just in case there are multiple requests, which there will be. So search. Root get that uses search controller get index as index. Hey there. Oops, I messed this one up. So prefix is that. Okay. Okay, so search controller get index is going to say go here. So now let's just go back to our roots and say search group search right there. Go back to our partial slash, which nav bar is it? It is shops. So this one here will go shop search. So root to this. Let's see. Oops. Why is it going to that? So, okay. What did I mess up here? User store. Oh. Because I put at the bottom is trying to look for specific users or a user shop instead of actually looking at for the actual search. Okay, so now let's just do PHP artisan build language to help build all of my helpers. And in here, my auto label has now been created. Oh, sorry. Successfully created the one for the repository, but not for this one. Let's just do a quick search. Lang slash controller slash Wow, my brain just died on me there. Lang, sorry, store, search, index. Awesome. Oh, store, search. The code looks so confusing, but the colors, the code are beautiful. Term view. I want to return. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the code. I'm not gonna lie. That's why sometimes previews are hard to do. Just because there's so much, and I'd love to share it all, but well, then I'd be giving away all of IcePets secrets, which I also don't want to do. So if I go here and I go market, store, folder, search, and let's just say extends app dot. What do I extend on the other ones? Extends app. And this one will be index.play.php. Section content and section. Now I go here, and the store search automatically pops up. Awesome. So save image because I'm going to need it. Code, IcePets, public, assets, images, NPCs. This is Sally search.png. Use JPEG. Oh, bugger. Okay. I'm actually going to rename that because we will likely be fixing that so it is a JPEG or a PNG, even if it's not technically for now. Images, NPCs, Sally searcher. Sally searcher .png. There. Okay, so what we want to do here, basically say, kind of similarly, all you want, all this stuff. So let's just start with the kind of core. I just want to get this part done, and then I'll kind of step away for a bit. So let's just get some boilerplate HTML up. So if we go back over here, so I have that. And let's just show this. MD6, call MD, push MD2. So scooch it over a bit. Let's see what happens. That didn't work. So we build this, push. Where would I have it? Is it that? No. Whatever. So for now, it'll just be on the side, but I'll clean that up. So now let's just say your header is shop, search, div class card body. So in here, what we want to do is basically let's just copy what this says. What this says. And let's center this text because center text always looks pretty. Let's do that. Let's see how that looks. There we go. That looks way better. Okay, so in here, let's just quickly run tinker. So this allows me to just kind of make stuff on the fly. So I need to add in a new NPC. Create. Name is Sally Searcher. And slug is search or store search or searcher. Search is just so if we do rename it, I only need to change one thing. What we are going to do here is NPC equals NPC where slug is search first. So grab it and pass it through. PC. Now up top, what we will do is add in an image or NPC image. Oops, so this actually needs to be named search. NPC at image alt equals so that we have screen reader support. Name title equals NPC at name so that if you hover over it you can see what it is. Let's just see how that looks. That looks a little odd. So what we want to do here is, let me just go back to the, what page was I working on just beforehand? Oh, raffle. No, actually it was back to, on the store.play.php, I think. Up here I have our shopkeeper. So this just has the classes that I need. And then what we will do is, so it's kind of right below. I'll just go padded bottom for now. Just add a bit of space down below. Shop search. Okay, so I have all that. Now I need to go to forum. It'll post. Action equals root to. So I need to make a root store. And here I post search. Yeah, I can post to the same place. Uses search controller post search search. So just grab this again. Other window. This one here. Okay. So now I add in the CSRF field. And now let's add in the rest of the boilerplate stuff. So create a blade.php. Let's just go store. Oh, and this is where I would have. Oh wait, no, I won't. Let's do this. So, oops, what did I mess up? Because I don't actually have any of that stuff, which makes sense. Let me just remove that for a sec. Oh wait, I already have the NPC, so I'm good there. So I don't have the shopkeepers because, well, they don't exist. So what this one should be is just your input box. Item. Equals text. Name equals item. Yeah. And basically draw that. Let's add some styling. And a placeholder. So text is going to be form.item.main. Item. Show that. I also have the drop-down list where field set form group label for equals type or search type. And this one will have text form.item, main. And this will give me your select ID equals search type, name equals search type, and then option. I'll fix these later. Basically the value will be value equals exact, exact or exact match or similar match. Similar. So, like here. Defaults to that. Yeah, I don't like that. That's not centered. So instead of making everything centered, let's do this. There we go. Similar or exact, and then I add in our button. So this field here is to make sure that you're not having cross-site forgeries. Button, class, button, button primary, and this is going to be buttons at submit. And this guy will be centered. Okay, now we do that. Okay, now everything's centered. Press it. There's absolutely nothing because post search doesn't exist. So search controller, public function post search, and then so right now let's just do this. Request thy dump request at all. And I can get everything that was actually searched. So I'm actually starting to get hungry, so I'm going to call it quits for now. I'll probably continue streaming in the afternoon if anyone's interested. Thank you for coming. Yeah, again, sorry for the mix-up or the weird timing throughout, but I'm hoping you liked it, and yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for playing Ice.